From every strand on the line of your reel, to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook, let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Angler's Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoudinger.
Good evening, everybody. I'm John.
Hi, y'all are. Cajun Rob here hanging out with you.
Yes. We have a special night tonight. Tonight is our 100th episode of Co-Angler's Corner. So we're quite proud of that. We've not actually assaulted each other in any way. We may have picked on each other a little bit, but outside of that, we're still both alive. Yeah,
we made 100 episodes, and our wife still let us continue to live. So it's even better.
Well, of course, we are trophy husbands, so
yeah, it's a hard job. Somebody got to do it.
Hey, somebody's got to be the arm candy in a relationship. Why not us?
But we have the perfect guest for the 100th episode.
Yes, Mr. Luke Shrader. Should we bring him on or make him wait?
No, we'll bring him on.
All right. All right. Hello, sir.
What's up, gentlemen?
Hey, what's up, Luke? Long time no see, man.
Good to be back on the show.
Glad to have you back, man. It's perfect. 100th episode got you on, man. I mean, it's meant to be.
It's an honor, and I need to commend you guys. Like, you're super consistent with the show. I feel like that's really difficult to do in the podcast game. So,
oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know, and I have to take my hat off if I had one on, and kudos to Rob because, you know, I had a couple incidences where I was in the hospital and couldn't be on, and he's like, "No problem, get better, I'll do it."
Carrying the team, yeah.
Hey, that's part of the team, man. You gotta step up sometimes, so it's all good.
Yeah. So, Luke, for the people who don't know you that's watching the show, he is Mr. Side Pod himself.
Yeah.
Do you want to let people know a little bit about your background?
Sure. So I've been, competitively bass fishing for probably almost 20 years now. Grew up in New Jersey, fished in Maryland and the whole Northeast region, probably until my mid-20s, late 20s, and then kind of ventured off a little bit more and probably culminated with fishing the MPFL for a year. Also fished a lot of Bass Opens, Toyota Series, BFLs in the meantime. And then since then have sort of relocated to Kentucky and now Wisconsin, probably part-time. So I'm all over the place. I've been fortunate enough to fish a lot of places and a lot of different tournaments and just still kind of like finding my niche within the industry, but absolutely love the game and just still get the rush no matter whether it's a big derby or a 10-boat club tournament. So,
yeah, awesome.
Yeah, but man, you've made that transition from the front of the boat back to the back of the boat better than I've ever seen anybody do it, man. Hats off to you.
Yeah, I've been super fortunate. It's great. I think it's worked out well. I still have a boat and, of course, fish a lot of tournaments from the front of the boat. But I think co-angling has a lot of value to it and just provides a lot of opportunities that maybe I think I see it a little better because I fished a lot from the front of the boat. So I feel like it allows you to give you a whole big picture of what goes into it. And just makes you a better fisherman overall. I mean, I'm still learning. I think I learned a ton from the back of the boat, and it's great to fish with other people for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, there's, like I said, if you're in the market for a boat, you get to ride in so many different boats, and you get to, what you like about it, what you don't like. So it's always pretty cool. But, I thought that was mine for a minute. It'll be back on.
Remind me to plug mine back in.
Yeah, I better. Hey, we got a first comment on there, Mr. Barking Rugers.
Hey, partner.
Hey, reminds me, I'm gonna plug mine in real quick. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Barking Rugers, appreciate you coming on. I think you've been with us for all of our episodes since this is our 100th. Congratulations, thank you for tuning into all of them and all the loyal fans out there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. I get my cord stretched out here, right? Yeah, I heard a rumor that Barker Rugers was fighting gators for his fish today. I just heard that from somebody.
Yeah?
Yeah. Which not surprising down there.
Right.
He can have that, just saying.
Well, you mentioned Barking Rugers. Did you see Ashley Klaus?
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty interesting.
The gator hunter.
pretty impressive. That's hats off to her.
Yeah, she's gonna have to make herself a gator hat or boots or something.
Make something out of what you call it. Yeah, that gator part. Hey, she can make a gator a weighing bag. There you go.
The bag will weigh more than fish.
Yeah. Or she can have fish her or make her alligator colored a bag. There you go.
There you go. A gator bag.
Yep. Hey, those ladies could do it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Man. There he is.
The hook. All right.
Yep.
Let's bring the main man back on. Hello, sir.
I don't know.
It happens, man. Hey, every episode we have something that happens. So hey, it's part of the show, man. Don't sweat it.
Good luck.
Yep, it's part of the show now. So hey, I've had power outages and internet outages and everything. So it happens.
Anyway, you were talking about riding boats and co-angling.
Yeah.
All that.
Oh yeah. Like I said, co-angler. I mean, and then like I know your schedule's been kind of off the chain busy. So I mean, when your schedule's busy like yours, you don't have to worry about practicing. Like I said, a lot of times my schedule's the same way, and I just show up morning of the tournament, ready to roll. So
yeah, that's usually my deal. And I've had a Chevy Suburban that's been decked out, and I have a really comfortable bed in the back. And typically my move is just sleep at the ramp or sleep at a Walmart that's nearby, and it just makes it so much more convenient and affordable, really. But for those events, anything that's over like an hour away, maybe hour and a half, I'm probably going to go ahead and try and sleep at the ramp if I can.
Yeah. That's what I do at Dale Hollow. I think all the events we had at Dale Hollow, I'd get there like at 3 a.m. and I'll pull right behind the weigh-in trailer and take a nap for an hour.
Yeah, there you go. No one's going to bother you there.
Yeah, you get a good parking spot. So there you go. At the end of the day, you're tired, short walk. So there you go.
Yeah. We used to have guys in the club block the ramp.
Yep.
Block the ramp.
Yeah, that way they're guaranteed to get woken up.
Yeah, that's true.
That's one way to do it.
There you go.
Might have some mad crappie guys, but that is what it is.
Right. Catfish boys, too.
Yeah.
Marketing Ruger says the first thing Ashley needs to make is sauce picante.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
Hey, Rusty, what's up? Rusty's another one of your side pot guys, if I'm not mistaken.
Multi-winner.
Rusty's been killing it this year. I think he's won 5 so far this year. I think he's our biggest winner of the year. So, yeah, hopefully he can keep that momentum rolling.
Oh, absolutely, man. He's been killing it. Hey, congrats, Rusty, man. You deserve it. You've definitely put the work in, man.
I think he finished, second or third in points or something like that?
Oh, yeah, he's right there. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But one of the reasons we wanted to have you on is because you fished a BFL on Douglas Lake not too long ago, and you had some success with it.
Yes.
Okay.
And at the last minute. Added on last minute. Even better.
Yeah.
So did you get in the side pot?
So I don't get in the side pot. I just want to avoid any sort of potential conflict of interest. But if I was allowed to, then yeah, absolutely.
All right. So if you don't mind explaining how the Douglas tournament went down for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So jumped in at last minute. I was actually supposed to fish the BFL on Center Hill that same day, and that was canceled from high water and a lot of hazardous, wood and stuff like that. So I still needed co-anglers for Douglas and was kind of, amped up and excited to fish that weekend. So that one was a little further from the house, but decided to jump in that and started off the morning fishing some offshore stuff. I believe I caught my first keeper of the day on a Carolina rig, which I feel like is a co-angler staple.
Absolutely.
You can just feel out sort of, what the bottom contour is like, better than pretty much any other lure. And you can just get down to the bottom, so much quicker, and you can cast it a mile too. So I feel like Douglas sets up really well for a Carolina rig. I feel like it's kind of a classic Carolina rig lake. So I had that ready to go and was definitely excited about fishing that. So I think I caught my first keeper on that. It was a 2.25 pounder, which, for Douglas is a solid fish. So it's not your lunker for the day, but you're like, I can weigh that one in. So I was happy to catch that fish relatively early in the morning. I think my next one came on a drop shot when we moved a little closer to the bank. There was still some flooded timber, I believe, Rob. You probably
Yep.
remember that. Wasn't super high, but there were some bushes that were in the water.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I caught one on a drop shot near some wood, and I think I ended up calling that one. But always feels good to get another keeper in the boat. And I think the bulk of my weight came probably in the middle portion of the day, and I caught most of those fish on a spinnerbait.
Yep.
I'm a big spinnerbait fan, but I really throw a 3/4 ounce a lot, and I feel like as a co-angler that's really key too, because once again you can cast that so far. So
Oh yeah.
stuff that maybe your boat or he can't reach that you can cast to, but it also allows you to just control it, and you can fish that bait from 2 or 3 feet all the way down to say 12 feet if you're letting it sink down there or slow rolling it a little bit. So I caught a few keepers on that, some 2-pounders mixed in, which I knew would be quality fish. And then I caught, I'm not sure what the big fish was. I think it was a high 4, maybe low 5, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I think it's a 4, high 4.
Real big fish, just skinny, that time of year, post spawn kind of deal. That fish came on the spinnerbait too, backside of a dock. Super awesome. I can remember it vividly still.
Oh man.
But 1 or 2 pumps of the handle, and I knew when I caught that fish that something special was happening. And I don't know if I had enough weight at that point, but I think I caught another two fish to cull. Another on the spinnerbait, and then another on a Carolina rig later in the day that probably solidified it for me. Called like a 1 1/4 with a 1 3/4 probably. So I had at that point 5 what I felt like at least were solid fish and 1 really big one.
Cool. Yeah, it's funny. I didn't get onto a pattern late in the afternoon. We went to these flats. It was flooded, and it was up in the I started throwing the Ned rig. I started getting bites on the Ned rig just one after another. So I didn't get it figured out till late in the day. So
a couple of my fish were off those sort of isolated bushes that were the flat points. And there'd be 1 or 2 big obvious flooded bushes that were off the end of that point, and I caught multiple fish in that type of scenario there.
Yep, but that is a pretty lake, man. I said in Smoky Mountains in the background. I think that's one of the prettiest lakes in East Tennessee. That's my favorite.
It is. Yeah, I love that part of the country, that Douglas Cherokee region. I think I'd probably rather fish Douglas. I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
A little stingy for me when I've been there.
Cherokee is Indian for small fish or no fish, I think. I think I've catched 1 check there, and all times I fish there. So
big smallmouth swimming in it, but
yeah, there is, and it always changes. In October, it's 15, 18 inches. It seems it goes from 15 inches to 18, and I catch 17 and a half football. I'm like,
18 is
oh
brutal.
Man, yeah, I know it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
James Manold says, "Hey brother, congrats on the best catch, bro."
Yeah, thank you, James. I appreciate that. Thank you guys. I can just get into it, I guess. But
yeah.
I was about to say, anything been happening lately?
Yeah, I guess it was Sunday evening. Actually, asked my girlfriend to marry me. Did it pretty much the same place we met, a little over 3 years ago, which is right on the water. Actually proposed her on the boat, which I feel like is appropriate. And like I was telling you guys, I really wouldn't have met her if it wasn't for tournament bass fishing. So I was kind of in the area for a tournament, decided to go on a little, last minute date with this girl. And I think the next day we went out fishing, and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
And it's meant to be, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Say congrats to both of you, man. That's outstanding.
Yeah. We're both super excited.
Absolutely.
Rusty Odom says, "Thank you, guys."
Yeah.
Or should I call him Rusty the Hammer Odom?
Yeah, he is this year, man. He's been on.
Hey, what's up, Rock?
What's going on?
All right. And my buddy Die Hard.
Good evening, everyone.
He's everywhere.
Oh, yeah, he is, man. Gotta love Jared, man. I talk to him about once every week. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
So when you're Carolina fishing, or Carolina rig, what is your go-to bait?
For me, it's probably only 2 baits. It's one or the other. It's like a Zoom speed crawl.
Yep.
And that's usually either around smallmouth.
Yep.
Or if I'm fishing pre-spawn, so earlier in the year kind of deal when the water's kind of cold. And usually later in the year, I'm throwing like a Magnum lizard. I love the old school, 8-inch lizard. Any kind of post spawn summer type deal. I think all the appendages there are great. I think a brush hog would probably, deserve some love in there. I don't really throw that much, but a baby brush hog probably.
Okay.
Absolutely. And on that speed crawl, I like it because I like plastics. Like you've been a co-angler, you can't carry a whole lot. That speed crawl, you can jig trailer, Carolina rig, Texas rig. Yeah. I mean, there's so many uses for that. Sort of like a Cinco. I mean, that and a Cinco, I think, is two most versatile baits you can have.
Yeah. Yeah, you can throw it on a swim jig, buzz bait, anything like that.
Yep.
They're one of my favorites for sure. Largemouth or smallmouth.
Oh, absolutely, man. Can't beat it. And, hey, John, you got a special comment coming at you.
I don't know who that's from.
Oh, okay. I thought you might.
Hey, guys, happy 100th episode. Thank you, babe.
Hey, thank the missus there. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I know I had some big shoes to fill as a co-host. You used to having her as a co-host. So I had some big shoes to fill.
Let's see. I think she's a better baker, and she's definitely better looking.
Oh, yeah. I'd admit that. I admit that all day long.
Yeah. Hey, here's another guy who deserves kudos. Mike Mueller.
Yeah.
Man, he's been on it, man. Congrats. Congrats.
Vision AOI over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I see him representing Side Pop pretty well for you. So
yeah, Mike's been super supportive and a big help, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, great guy, super angler. I mean, just great guy all around, man. Just super guy.
Yeah.
And
Rob knows about the Carolina Smackdown on Del Hollow this past March.
yeah, Rock had it, and he outdid me on it. So hey, hats off. He beat me that day.
Okay.
But I was in about 120 foot of water, so not too much Carolina rigging for me that day. But it is what it is.
I bet you were burning the spinnerbait, weren't you?
No, scrounger head actually. I actually caught one. Had one come up, and the guy was looking at the sonar, and it come up and got my scrounger head and broke my line. Had to be a smallmouth because he said it comes straight up. He said, I don't want to say nothing, to freak you out. And I was like, broke me off, man. I think I scraped a rock and didn't retie, so it's on me.
Slop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashley Gator Gal Klaus is on. Says, "Hey guys,
I can see her being on an episode of Swamp People now. I think they need to reach out to her to have her on Swamp People. Just saying.
There you go.
Saw the tagged out post.
Yeah, give her some tags. She'll fill them out for you.
Yep. It's been a rough lake for me. Diehard anglers saying.
He's talking about Cherokee. Yeah, Cherokee it can be a challenge. Yeah. Absolutely.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
from Barking Rugers. I don't know how I would take that. And Diehard says, congratulations, Luke.
I appreciate it. And
Rusty saying congratulations.
Guys, thank you.
But no, was there anything different on Douglas time than that you think helped you get the trophy?
I think maybe just being prepared for different situations, and then just being comfortable and confident with like the lures that I knew would catch fish there going into it. I love throwing that Carolina rig, and I fished a handful of times before, and that's always been a great technique to catch fish on. So, I made a couple casts with like a big crankbait or a big plug, which is super popular there as well. But I think just not having to cycle through the baits and just know that, I need to keep this locked in my hand and I'm going to get bites on this probably helped a lot. And I think maybe that casting distance that I mentioned before, I think that helped me a lot, both with the spinnerbait, but also with that Carolina rig. I use like a 3/4 ounce all the time, which I think is probably the standard.
Yep.
But you can cast that sucker pretty far. So.
Yeah.
And talk about spinnerbait, I had that BFL Watts bar, and I had Jimmy Houston had the big blade, the big round blade like a hubcap. And some reason it was in the marina, and I pulled it out. And it got cloudy, and I said, "You know what? I ain't waked a spinnerbait since probably forever."
Yeah.
Threw that there first cast, waking it, boom, first cast. I was like, I might have put something together.
I think the chat kind of overshadowed it in a lot of regards.
Yeah.
For me, I think there's something about flash that really just triggers fish in general. I mean,
Oh yeah,
bass, but you look at some other fish, they eat anything that's shiny.
Yeah.
oh yeah. And I did find out I had a Toyota in Gunnersville, and the guy I was with, he was fishing chatterbait and just whacking them. I mean, he had like 24 pounds,
Yeah.
and the only thing I could get bit behind him was a spinnerbait with an orange little kicker in early spring. And I had a couple decent ones. I had about 3, but I had some decent ones. But
yeah.
and I had one. He's like, man, I wish I had that one. I'd have had 25 pounds. I was like, sorry, man. Yeah, and like I said, long cast. I said, you're absolutely right. I had it on a long cast. I threw the other side of a little weed patch. As soon as he must have been right there, and I threw on top of him because I didn't have time to whine. He had it.
Right.
And so
He was yawning.
yeah, he might have been, but yeah, I said that spinnerbait, man. You can do, waking it like I was. You can go mid depth.
Yeah.
You can crawl along the bottom. I mean, it's from shallow to deep. You can fish it.
Pretty weedless, as a co-angler,
Yeah.
which I think is a big thing. I mean, I really hate waste of time.
Yeah.
Tying something. I feel like you got to do it. Like you can never put a rod down and not be prepared for the right situation.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, that's the worst part about that Carolina rig because that's a whole lot to tie.
It is, yeah. If you break off, it's like, I got to retie this, retie that. So it can be, but like I said, now I've won a big bass on Barron River on a little spinner, but I had a little 1/4 ounce Tim Pose and won big bass there one time. And it I don't know how I didn't get it, how it didn't come off because it hit right at the boat. I guess it followed it.
Yeah.
And it hit right at the boat. And then my old team partner showed me a trick. They bite at the boat like that, hit your thumb bar and just thumb it.
Yeah. Let him swim out a bit further.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So give him a little extra, running because.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I probably saved the fish and got me a big bass trophy that day. And Barron River's tough, definitely.
Yeah.
I thought you'd just scooped them in on the.
Just both.
Nah, she was a pretty good sized girl, and I know how good I had her hooked. So I was like, didn't have a bite till the end. So I was. It was a tough day. So I was thankful.
So does apparently your fiance fishes as well?
She does. She fishes a lot more
competitively?
now that we started dating. That's for sure.
Oh, cool.
But she's a great sport about it. I've definitely drug her to a few tournaments and made her wake up at 3:30 in the morning or whatever crazy stuff that we do. And she's always a good sport about it. So I gotta applaud her for that. We fished a handful of little derbies together, but this year, a couple weeks ago, we cashed a check in like one of the bigger tournaments in the area, and I think it was like the first check we cashed together. So
Nice.
Oh, nice.
it was a fun day. She doesn't like how stressed out I get or how fast I move, but that's I think that's the nature of it for me. So
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Rusty says we need a side pot get together, take a trip out on the lake.
yeah,
That's not a bad idea.
Have a side pot tournament?
I've thought about that. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
On a good scale. Maybe I need to invest in one, or at least find a good buddy who's got a good tournament scale. But yeah, I'd love to run like a side pot sort of sponsored event.
That would be pretty cool, man.
Yep.
And have it on Cumberland.
Yeah, that'd be good.
No, when go Gunnersville.
It'll be great.
Diehard Angler says, I'm happy to see side pot has grown. It's a great idea. It is.
Absolutely.
It's growing. It's slow. Of course, I had much grander plans for 3 years, of into it, but I'm super passionate about it. Fortunately, I'm really hands-on and do everything myself. So other than some website fees and stuff like that, it really doesn't cost me a whole lot to operate. So, I can break even, with the state we're at now. And like I said, I feel like I'm passionate about it. I enjoy it. Feel like it's providing an opportunity and guys love it. So
Absolutely. And I give you credit, man. A couple things. Like whenever I win side pot, you put it in the mail Monday, usually Wednesday morning, it's in my mailbox. And I said, hats off to you on that. And that's great. But
I still have mine.
keep trying, John. Maybe Rusty Odom give you a couple tips. There you go.
Yeah, step one, sign up.
yeah, step one. But hats off, John. He does remind me about every tournament. Hey, Rob, you signed up for the side pot? Oh, yeah, I got to do that real quick. So, so it's good to have a good partner remind you.
You got that right.
I always like to see Rob donate his money to other people.
I do that. I do it about half the time. So I had a pretty good year last year. So
Yeah.
A couple W's there.
yeah, I got a few there. But now this is funny right here, I think.
Cherokee is no fun.
It was pretty fun for 2 days, I think. For her.
Yeah, I said, well, she finished in the money now. Come on now. It had to be a little bit of fun.
Yeah, I finished in the money too, and I didn't catch any fish.
Oh, man.
That was a great experience to get to go there. I mean, I literally double blanked both days of the All-American. But
Hey, that lake is tough, man. I'm locals blank there, so it's.
Hey, I double blanked on Gunnersville.
yeah.
And that was a Toyota championship too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
I mean, it was my fault.
It happens, man. It happens.
I still got $750 and some travel money and a cool T-shirt. So
And they treat you like royalty. I heard they rolled a red carpet out for you guys. I heard
they make you feel special for sure. So I'm excited for a couple regionals coming up this year and trying to get back there. You know.
What regionals where are you going for the regionals?
So I fished 2 divisions this year. I fished Music City and I fished Mountain. So I believe, I could be wrong here, I believe the Mountain takes you to Pickwick.
Yep.
And then I believe the Music City takes you to Clark's Hill.
Yep, because volunteers going there. So I'm 24th in points, man. I hope I see you there.
Yeah. At Clark's Hill, right? Is that
Yep, Clark's Hill. Yeah, volunteer Music City's going to Clark's Hill, and said I got
over there. That's in his.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I got one super left at Cherokee, so if I can just catch one fish at Cherokee, I'm there.
And that's no easy feat there.
No, it's not. So that's why I said if I just catch one, be on the weigh-in stage and make the regional, I've done it.
Diehard Angler says, "Hey Luke, I know a guy or two with scales that could do a tournament for you."
That's cool.
Oh.
In touch.
Nice.
James wants to know you got side pot, or says you got side pot for Sandy Cooper Toyota.
I think that means he's signing up.
Yep.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Smart move.
Now they got 2 BFLs on Potomac next weekend.
Yeah. I was curious to see what they were going to do there because of the cancellation on Sunday, and I was thinking they might just go with 4 tournaments, but I see how they're putting in the 2 back to back.
One day is going to be the makeup for Oneida, then got moved to Champlain, then got canceled. Now it's down at the Potomac, and then the other day is going to be the Super Tournament.
Yeah. The Northeast Division is brutal. I definitely can sympathize with all those guys with the travel expenses and the distance between tournaments. I don't think there's another BFL division that's really that spread out between Thousand Islands and then Potomac River. I mean, you're looking at like a 4-hour drive to go from.
Wow.
I'm 4 hours away from Champlain and 6 hours from Potomac.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why I moved to where I'm at now because Rob, I mean, we can fish 3 different divisions and never go more than 4 hours from the house. You know?
I've done 4 divisions in 1 year. I think I've done like the Illinois and the Hoosier, the Volunteer Mountain. Yeah, I did 4 or 5 1 year. Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Mr. AOY says he's signing up for Sandy Cooper side pot.
Hey, there you go, James. There you go. You got your wish, man. But you got a hammer just signed up. So blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yeah.
Hey, who knows? Is he going to sign up as a boater or a co-angler?
Could go either way.
Got a trolling motor back.
Yeah. Has what is it? Z20? I think he has.
Something like that.
20 or 21, I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's a nice looking boat though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So boy, it seems like every time you get on, Luke, we just go off in every direction.
I'm here for it.
Oh, he handles this smooth, man.
All these guys.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's the one thing, like with fishing and stuff like that. You know, you meet so many people.
Yeah, he's got a 21
nitro.
Yep, 21. Yep, cool deal.
It's a sharp boat. You know, he had it to my house for. Oh, he's going as a co.
Yep, there you go.
He stayed at my house on Cuba Lake, and I never got a chance to get in the boat.
Oh, hey.
John, I saw you were fishing with Eddie Carper a couple, weeks ago. Like, look at this connection. I would have never put these two guys together, but I know them both and they're fishing together.
And now Eddie's like addicted to the North now. He's going to move up there, I think.
Yeah.
He's ready.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's at Erie almost every weekend.
Yeah, he is, man. It's amazing. You got him addicted.
Where's he traveling from?
I think Ohio. Central. Yeah, Central Ohio.
Working. I was watching Mike, some of the stuff he's doing. Like, I can't believe some of the fish he's getting out of Susquehanna. I didn't think they were that good size.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed to say that I never really fished the Susquehanna River other than the tidal section, and that was probably only 3 hours from the house growing up. But I don't know. I think you need a jet boat to get to some of the stuff, and I know Mike fishes some areas with his glass boat, but I just never knew where to go.
Yeah.
Too afraid to.
Don't be embarrassed. No reason to get out on that Susquehanna. I think Mike's proven us wrong, but so any big plans for next year?
Next year, I have no idea yet. Okay. I feel like I'd probably like to fish some more stuff out of the front of the boat again, but I'm just going to do really what makes sense for me.
Definitely.
At the time, I feel like I maybe have lost a little interest in pursuing it at the highest level. Just the way the sport has sort of changed over the past few years.
And the cost, man, is up there.
I always wanted to be a pro angler, as a kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of gotten away from that, but I'll be honest, I think seeing like that NPFL decision, like kind of makes me think like, ooh, like I might want to do that again, or I would at least consider it, I think I would prefer to fish under that sort of set of rules than the current state of the industry. So
yeah, and plus they spread their tournaments out quite a bit too. That's another advantage, I think, on their side.
Yeah.
I know a guy with Side Pop. Maybe they can sponsor you.
Yeah.
Hey.
I don't know if I have enough money.
Maybe we can get a casino to sponsor you.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Hey, we know a guy. We know a guy.
Caught a 6.9 on the Susquehanna this spring.
Ooh.
That's giant.
Dang, that's a tank.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
What's the biggest smallmouth out of there, Mike, that you've ever caught? Anyway.
That's a good question.
That is. Yep. He'll flash it on here in a second.
Probably not as big as St. Lawrence smallmouth, though.
No.
Probably not, but be a little tougher.
People ask me what the biggest smallmouth you got was. I said, I don't know.
Big.
Because I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, there you go. That's a nice one.
A 5'4".
Okay.
That's a chunk.
That's a big river fish. That's a long fish. That's
an old fish.
I think he got close to a 7 on the river, I think. I'm not sure. But
wow.
No, I mean, I had 24 pounds for 5 fish.
Wow. Where was that at?
St. Lawrence.
Okay.
And a couple weeks before that, I had, about a month before that, I had 21 out of Casey Smith's boat.
Okay.
On Erie.
Was that in a tournament?
Yeah, Toyota.
That's awesome. He's probably learned a lot too.
Yeah, he's got one of those trophies now, so I think he did learn a little bit more.
Yeah, I did. And on St. Lawrence, I fished with current NPFL angler Randy Kukral.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I know all of the guys.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Casey's
and
brother
Casey
Corey actually fished in a bass
Toyota.
club with us in New Jersey. And then Corey, Casey's brother moved to Florida, and I actually stayed with him when I was down there a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Great guy.
Cool.
Nice.
Super talented fisherman.
Casey, yeah. Barky Rubers, I like my fishing like used to like clubbing. I'd rather go home with 5 2s than 110.
As my wife would say, el no commento on that one. Oh, man.
Hey, at least with the 110, you can always get more.
Maybe. That's all I'm saying.
The limit's 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I look. I go to bed with a 10 every night. If she's still watching.
There you go. There you go.
But no, any thoughts of going to like Toyota or EQ or anything like that for next year out of the front?
I think the EQs are brutal.
Yeah.
So not really. I think Toyota is certainly a consideration depending upon the schedule. So I would think about it for sure. I feel like the value is honestly still better from the back of the boat, and
the
price is almost comparable. I mean, unless you have a Phoenix and Phoenix contingency money, first place in an average Toyota is like $45,000 for a boater, and they're paying $1,700 plus a week's worth of practice, so roughly $3,000 minimum. And co-angler side is the Phoenix that's worth $33,500 or something like that, and that's on a $550 entry fee, and you can literally show up and fish and have a chance to win that. So
yeah, they pay like what 55, 60 spots, something like that.
Yeah, they pay like 1 in 4 basically. BFL's like more 1 in 5, but so they'll pay 40, 50 spots. You got a decent chance to get your money back, and I feel like the 2-day tournament really sort of evens out the draw.
Oh yeah,
factor some. So you might get a good draw one day, but you might not the other. So that kind of evens out the luck factor. So I feel like it helps.
Yeah, that happened to me a lot. Day one, I was, I think, in 3rd place on the islands with Randy, and day 2, I got taken out completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's brutal, but the weights are super volatile because of that. I think you can't really look at the day 1 weights and expect them to double on the co-angler side.
No,
it's really key to just get those 2 or 3 bites that it's probably all you needed, right? It was 2 or 3 fish, sort of.
Oh yeah, if I had caught 2 fish, I'd have probably been in the top 25.
Right, exactly. So it's all about trying to stay consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I said, Toyota's got the best bang for your buck. I think that's for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like my 5th place on Erie was, I think, a little over 3.
Okay.
I brought back, and that was driving up the day that the night of before the tournament, and
wow,
fishing one day.
That pays for most of your year, So
it did that year. It did because that's all I fished was the Toyotas. So
cool.
And then you get to go to the championship, which I'm excited about. That's coming up at Wheeler Lake, where I really don't have a whole lot of experience. I feel like I fished a fair amount of TVA at this point, probably Chickamauga the most, Gunnersville some, but really haven't spent any time on Wheeler.
Okay.
So
yeah, I think I fished wild card at Wheeler one year, and it was brutal condition. It was 4-foot rollers. It was cold and windy, but I still scraped a few out. But it was tough. I mean, it don't have that much grass in it. It's not like Gunnersville. It's a little different.
Yeah, it seems like it's on the upswing from what I've seen. I mean, when the weights were there, it was pretty good weights overall. So
yeah, you know what, Luke? Next year we can do the side pot tournament on Champlain.
We'll see.
Hey.
You see how big his eyes got?
Yep.
I was thinking about the gas bill to get over there, but yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Oh man.
But no, that'd be incredible.
Is awesome. I haven't been there in quite a few years, but I have some fond memories, coming up, and my first few real big tournaments were up there, and it was great.
Yeah. But talking about Toyotas, I think at Smith Lake one year, I was like the very last boat on day 1, then the first boat on day 2. It was it was funny.
Yeah. It's brutal when you're the last boat on day 1 because then you got like a short recovery time, and then you got to be up really early in the next morning to be boat 1. So I'd rather be like in the middle both days, ideally. Yeah. If not, I'll take early the first day, and then you get off the water. You got time to actually get a meal in you and recoup and get ready for that second day.
Absolutely.
Ashley's getting in the side pot for the regionals.
Which smart move.
Which regional are you going into, Ashley? Where are you fishing? Mine's in Kerr. So,
Kerr should be a good one. There's a lot of fish in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I fished in open a couple years ago on James.
Yeah.
Day 1, I was out. We were on the water for 10 hours.
Yeah.
Whew.
And that was tough behind the guy spot lock fishing at one spot all day.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not typical for the James. That's usually like a
No.
run and gun.
Oh, usually run and gun, yeah. But
Yeah.
Ashley's going to Pickwick.
Cool.
Hey, there you go. Hey, you might be the same one. That'd be cool.
I'll be there.
Yep. Now, for these regionals, are you a pro or a co or both? Or
I'm fishing as a co.
Okay.
Yeah. I fished all my BFLs as a co this year.
Okay.
Things are going well, fellas. I just can't stop.
Hey,
it's like,
man, you're on a roll, man. You have a good roll. I mean,
up, so I'm gonna keep going with it.
now I know some guys going as a co all year, and they just want to go to the wild card. Then they go to wild card if some lake close. Then they go in as a boater.
Yeah,
I've seen them do that.
I've seen that before.
Yep.
I think that's why it's hard to. There's a lot of boat on boat draw right at the card because everyone's doing that.
Yep.
That's tough. I don't think you should be allowed to do that.
I don't boat on boat draw. Well, yeah, I agree with that whole idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the boat on boat draw either. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Alan Gray really set the world on fire with the teaser that he made last week, and I don't think they've really released anything yet, other than I've seen him confirm that they are not banning forward-facing sonar in the BFLs or Toyotas. So
Yep.
Everyone blew that one out of proportion.
Yeah.
Old Slick there.
Yeah, he's been known to stir the pot with a boat paddle.
Yeah. Have to get him and Milliken together.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's also, well, I was just going to say it's so much easier to ban something at the top level or regulate it at the top level and let it trickle down. I mean, you can't try and ban something like that at the BFL level because it's too big of a change for too many people out there that have all got their boats rigged and this and that. You know, it would piss a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, mentioning the BFL, the one thing I would like to see changed is if you're in a professional series, BPT, NPFL, elites, you shouldn't be able to be fishing a BFL.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I know ABA had a ban.
Yep.
Like that. I think those guys do it probably for the contingency money more than anything. And, you know, I can sympathize a little bit because I know they do love to fish, you know. And
yes,
some of those guys aren't allowed to fish some of their local tournaments either, you know. So, shoot, I guess I'd be fishing anything I could too. So,
I'll blame them. Hey,
you know, I don't blame either. I just, hey, it's not against the rules, so why not?
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. But you're talking about the codes. I think it's interesting. You'll notice the Bass Open, they was short a lot of codes. And I guess they make the guys run GoPros or something, but I've seen a lot of Bass Open guys running by themselves.
Yeah, it looks like they're only pulling about 50%, you know, of the field, around 75 to maybe 100 co-anglers.
Yep.
Don't quote me on this, but I don't think they're making them run GoPros. I think.
Okay.
No.
Like
I know they didn't used to.
Yeah. That might change, but I don't think.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, my Tackle Warehouse. I was thinking that's one of the series. Maybe Tackle Warehouse.
Sure does. MPFL does. You know.
Sure
Still. Yeah. But the Opens, I don't know if you noticed. I just think it's strange. They're paying 40 spots, even though they have like 70 co-anglers. So pretty much everyone gets a check, but the top end is like minimal. Like I think second place is like $2,000, and first is like maybe 10. So. You know, I think your value is way better in the Toyota level, at least for now. So
it always has been, though.
What was that?
Oh yeah,
it always has been. Toyota's always been better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. You might not see co-angling at the Open level next year. I mean, the fact that they're only getting about half participation, I would think that they're not generating the money that they thought they would be off of it, and you know, at a certain point, it might not be worth it for them. Or so.
I do have a funny story. I think it was on Cherokee a few years back. The bite was so tough, they was worried that they'd have enough co-anglers have fish to get checks. It got down to like the last flight, but they was worried they wouldn't have enough co-anglers that had fish.
Yeah.
That's how tough it was.
Brutal.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, I mean, they have different ways they could go with it, but
have you guys heard rumblings of like a team format style at the BFL, the combined weight?
Yeah, I've heard the shared weight thing kicked around. I don't know.
Because I feel like that's a change that they'd make to make co-anglers happy.
Yeah.
I don't know as a co-angler if that would make me happy. So
Yeah.
I want to win on my own merit.
Right. I
Yeah.
kinda feel the same way.
That's me.
Yeah.
Like if my boater comes in with 25 pounds and I come in with 5, and all these other
Is what it is.
bringing 20 in and their boater's not catching them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it'd be a nice like contingency type of thing.
Yeah.
But
I would
not-
just fish a team tournament though if I wanted to fish a team tournament.
Yeah.
I feel like
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
how people
Yeah.
would look at it. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then on team tournament, you're fishing with somebody you already know and you've partnered with before. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's what the out west they do that a lot.
They do that
Yeah.
for one
The
bass
Open.
for
Yeah.
the US Open and their other tournaments out there.
But
Okay.
oh, I feel like we've gone everywhere, but talking about Lou.
Yeah. Now look, what is one lake you hadn't fished at that you'd like to if you had a chance?
Probably some more places in Texas.
Yeah.
Lake Fork, maybe,
Yep.
or maybe Rayburn, Toledo Bend. I fished Wright Patman, which is like Texas, Arkansas border. So I've technically fished in Texas, but really haven't spent a whole lot of time there. But I don't know. I'd like to catch a 10-pounder. My PB is only 8, so
Yep.
you know,
OHIV's been on fire last year or so.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Okeechobee either. I fished some other places, but it's a shame to see sort of what's happening to that place. So that's off the bucket list for now, but that's another one where I'd really love to go to.
Yeah, I'm like you. It's like, they did the same to Chickamauga. I remember when I was in Knoxville, like in the 90s, they killed all the grass in Chickamauga. And then when the grass started coming back, all the bass started coming back. And then it is what it is today. It just, they don't learn. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't. The whole spraying thing is kind of throws me off. I don't, why are we polluting our waterways with chemicals?
Yeah. I mean, they got those combine machines. If you want a boat lane, okay, I get it. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Any lake you don't want to go back to?
any like I don't want to go back to.
And you can't say Cherokee.
We've already talked about.
Or Ohio River. Ohio River, everybody knows about.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I love fishing. I'll go anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
You go where the schedule dictates, right?
Yeah.
You make it happen. Hey, wherever you at, just make it happen.
Yeah.
What's your favorite technique from the front of the boat?
Probably winding a spinnerbait or a chatterbait. Probably one or the other.
Over in water.
Well, yeah, I like top water too, but I can't say I really throw it as much as the other ones. So
Okay.
that's a lot of fun. Maybe frogging, maybe really that maybe catching them on a frog or punching, something like that. I do like catching them on braid. I throw a spinning rod a lot. I feel like I grew up with a spinning rod in my hand.
Yeah.
But would definitely prefer to be on like the power end of the spectrum there. And I'm really I'm not really a big like smallmouth fan. They're cool to reel in and they fight hard, but I'm really not that interested in catching even like big smallmouth out in the middle of the lake. So great, it's fun, I love it. But would that be like I would rather fish an Ohio River, Delaware River grinder tournament where you have to catch 5 little 1-pound largemouth than 20 pounds of smallmouth almost. As crazy as that, but
that does sound odd.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
But hey,
No, I'm the same way. I've been to Del Hollow, and it's like 39 degrees. It's spitting snow, and half the field's complaining. You're like, half them guys are already out of it.
Yeah.
That's the tournaments I like. I bring out a jig. I say, I'm about to get to work.
Yeah, I love the tough tournaments. I
Yep.
feel like that mental edge, too, is key. And I think part of being a co-angler is just like managing your expectations, right? And knowing that you might only get 3 bites a day, but that's sometimes all you really need to do well. But you need to be ready for those 3 bites, when they come, and you need to execute on it. So.
Oh, absolutely. Every bite's key. I mean, I think my best finish, I fished 5th on Dale one time, and I think I had 3 bites. One of them was a 5.6, and I finished 5th, and I got big bass that day. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it was a grinder.
Absolutely.
What now? Do you fish differently from the back of the boat than you do the front?
I would say that I do to some degree. And I think that sometimes I should fish more like the way I fish in the back of the boat when I'm in the front of the boat. I think I've probably fished over way too many fish in my lifetime. Either just fishing too fast or thinking that there was only one or two there when really I could have caught like 4 or 5 there.
Right.
And I've seen that as a co-angler, like, observing my boater and then, having him catch a fish and then catching multiple fish, in the same area to see like, how significant that little population is. So yeah, I think I probably fish slower and smaller from the back of the boat.
Absolutely.
In general.
Cool. Well,
that's because you're fishing for different fish. I mean, he might be, you got to get what's left over. So that's sometimes 1 or 2 pounders, but get you a check.
Yeah. So a lot of shaky head, a lot of drop shot, a lot of little baby brush hog finesse type deal.
Yep.
Carolina rig when you're fishing deep. So I don't think I'll ever. I know you said you throw a jig, but I don't really throw a jig from the back of the boat anymore.
I do early in the year. Early in the year, I do.
Right, and I'll flip one from the front of the boat, but if I'm in the back of the boat, like I'm going with something smaller, finessier, just to get any single bite rather than thinking that I'm going to get that better than an average fish.
Yep.
Barking Brewer says, "Hush it, John. Sometimes you got to roll up your sleeve and punch a bass in the mouth."
Yeah, where he's at. Yeah, you got to.
Yeah. Well, usually, like if I'm fishing where I know there's going to be good largemouth, I'll have a 1 ounce jig on most of the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or a 3/4 1 ounce weight with a flipping hook, and
that's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. But yeah, a lot of times, like on the night before the tournament, I'll talk to my boater and I'll ask him, hey, we're going to fish shallow or deep, fast or slow, and I kind of. I mean, sometimes they'll vary a little bit, but that kind of gives you an idea what you're looking at for the next day and kind of in your head run through some scenarios.
Yeah, I think before you talk to your boater, I'll probably have like 10 rods that, could potentially be. And then you kind of ask that shallow or deep question and sort of helps you narrow it down. The toughest part is when you say both, and then you're like, oh, shoot, what?
Yeah.
Which one are we starting on, maybe,
Yeah. Or you get the guy that says, are you on them? I'm on nothing.
Yeah.
So you just grab. Yeah, you just grab what you have confidence in. Oh, yeah, Carolina rig, spinnerbait. You throw your confidence stuff in. So,
I don't usually ask my boater that many questions because I figure, you start someplace and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, most time.
Yeah.
And I fished a couple tournaments where on Champlain, the guy's like, we're doing smallmouth. Next thing you know, we're running the tie, flipping lily pads. I'm like,
yeah, most time his fish will move. You can about guarantee on tournament day.
Yeah. I think my experience fishing, but also, watching others fish from the front of the boat is when you have too much of a game plan, that's the worst game plan.
Yeah.
It is.
So when when some guy pulls up to a spot and they're not biting or they're not there, but he's like, we're just going to milk it out or sit here for another 2 or 3 hours, that's probably not the right approach. Sometimes it pays off, of course, but I think the guy that doesn't practice and says, hey, we're just going fishing is probably the guy who's like way more adaptable.
Yeah.
And you're not going to sit in an area and not catch fish. That's the worst case scenario is when you're sitting in one area and nobody's catching fish. I'd rather at least be moving and trying, some other areas.
Yeah. Or when I really get worried, as I get on my boater's boat in the morning, he's got like 20 rods on the front deck. I'm like, oh, that's a little worrisome.
See, what worries me is you talk to the boater the night before, and he's like, yeah, I got 20 pounds out of this one spot. He goes,
that worries me more.
I'm like,
yeah, that ain't happening.
I'm like, great, I can get in the boat, take a nap, wait until he goes to spot number 2.
Or they caught them all the day before. That's
they throw them out them. Yeah, they throw them out them. Hey, I caught 20 pounds yesterday in practice. Yeah, you just throw them out all of them.
Yeah.
So, Luke, you're having a great year. You got any sponsors you want to talk about?
Mostly SciPot, which of course we've talked about before, and then the people over at Pradco. So most likely Booyah and War Eagle, which are probably the 2 brands that I use the most. Big War Eagle spinnerbait guy, and I love that Booyah pad crasher. I think for like a $5 or there might be $8 now, but for a cheaper frog, I think it's like the best affordable frog on the market without having to spend $15. So that and an A-rig. I think an A-rig is a super valuable bait for the back of the boat.
Oh yeah, especially early in the year. I caught speaking of that, I caught the big smallmouth at Norris. The first volunteer. Only keeper I had all day. I caught a bunch of smalls on jig, and we pull up this marina, and I throw it out and count it down, and it just stops. So I'm like, okay, I just hit a dock cable. Then it shakes. I'm like, uh-oh, somebody's home.
Yeah, I love that bait. I think anytime the water's below like 50, 55.
Yeah.
But it's not a cure-all. I do think it probably should be legal in tournament. I mean, it is for all MLF events, but
yeah.
I feel like in bass events and other events, I feel like they could just not ban it. But
yeah, I think it's got kind of a seasonal, like you said, colder water, like 50 and below. It's kind of got its niche now. It ain't like you can throw it all year round and get 20 pounds like it when it first come out. How it was.
It is a pain to lug around though. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, snags everything.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about bringing it. And as a I feel like it's a specialty rod, right? Like your A-rig rod is probably about the only thing you can really throw on that. Maybe something else, but you need a really heavy rod. So
well, what I do, I throw out like a finesse A-rig. It's like a Shane's baits, the smaller ones, and I throw it on my spinnerbait rod. That's what I do.
Okay,
and it works. It works.
Yeah, as long as it's light enough,
It is. Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Rob?
No, hey, man, Luke, I said we enjoy having you on. And, man, congrats again for your engagement. And, man, best of luck to you. And we're happy for both. We're happy for both of you guys. So,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
And that's all right. I'll see you at Cherokee and hopefully see you down at Clarksville.
Yeah, I was just going to say I'll be at Dale Hollow this weekend. I'm up in Wisconsin as we speak, but I'm making the trek down to Kentucky, I think, on Thursday. So I'll be at Dale Hollow for that Music City this weekend. And then we got a mountain on Cumberland the following weekend after that. And then hopefully those two regionals out there, Clarksville and Pickwick. And so hopefully we'll get to see a bunch of people. Looking forward.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. And, hey, I know it's always a good tournament. I see Luke at the end of the tournament and see the side pot sign. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You bring the big sign and all. That's something to look forward to in today, man.
Yep, the big check's a hit for sure.
Yeah, it is, man. It's pretty dang cool.
Yeah. You're going to have to get a picture of Rob just standing behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold it for somebody else, maybe.
Oh, come on.
I'll get lucky every once in a while.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, you take care. Be safe in your travels. Congratulations again.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Keep up.
All right. Take care, Luke. Good seeing you, buddy.
See you guys.
All right. See you, man.
Oh.
Man, we could have a better guy for the 100th episode right there, man. I mean, solid guy.
Yeah. He's so laid back, and no wonder the side pot thing's taken off,
Oh, yeah, it's the best thing. It's the best thing going.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah, like I said, hey, like my granddad used to say, hey, if you're not in side pot, you leaving money on the table.
There you go. All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, just, hey, congrats to everybody, and thank y'all for watching. And 100th episode, hey, we survived. So we're still here and still in one piece, and we're upright and not pushing daisies. So
that's right.
But we've had a lot of fun. You guys commenting questions, and we've learned a lot from you guys as much as the guests. So we appreciate all of you. And we're going to try to do some special things for 100. We're going to take some clips and maybe some of our favorite things. So we're going to get together a little best of for you guys and throw it out there for you. So look for that in the near future.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody take care. Tomorrow's guest is Jordan Sipek. Smallmouth fisherman. He's a guide on Cuga Lake, Oneida Lake. I think he might guide St. Lawrence River a little bit too, but I'm not positive. So anything else, buddy?
No, that's it. I just appreciate everybody and hope you tune in tomorrow.
All right. Take care.
Peace out.